I'm a head coaching candidate and I'm looking at the Broncos, I don't know if having Peyton or not having Peyton would make a difference in my decision. First of all, if I'm an assistant coach who's never been a head coach, I just want a head coaching job, whether Peyton's there or not. And second of all, if you know the history since John Elway has been the senior VP and the general manager,
Let's just
you
call
know
him
that
general manager. That,
all right, general manager.
People ask me.
Okay, you know that John Elway is going to give you a good roster year in and year out, a competitive roster, because John knows how to do that. So if I'm a candidate, I'm going to say to myself, that Denver job, whether Peyton's there or not, that's a good job.
Mike Shanahan chose to not come back to Denver the first time it was offered to him, the head coaching job. He stayed in San Francisco because of a couple of reasons. He didn't want to be the guy who replaced Dan Reeves, and that's what kind of was telling you about you don't want to be the first person to date a widow after her husband's died, because she's still in mourning.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in any kind of ugly way, but I've done it a couple of times, and that really was not. You don't want to replace John Wooden. You want to be the second guy, because the first guy, Gene Bartow, went to a dinner to welcome him to Los Angeles, and they gave him like a alarm clock, and they said, and in the audience we want to introduce John Wooden, the former coach. They gave him a ring about the size of the Hope Diamond, and everybody applauded for 15 minutes in a standing ovation, and Gene Bartow felt like he was the accidental tourist. He was the guy with the brown shoes on and the tuxedo, and he said, I knew then this was a job I shouldn't have taken.
Trivia. Do you remember where Gene Bartow came from?
Memphis State. In Southern Illinois, the Salukis.
UAB? I thought he came from UAB.
No,
yeah, he was at a few places.
Memphis,
okay.
What was then Memphis State to
that's
UCLA.
Right. That's right.
He then went later on to University of Alabama, Birmingham.
That's
but
right. That was after UCLA.
I think he was with Southern Illinois, the Salukis, and that's why I thought that's where you're going. But coaching candidates, I want people to write me at woody@woodypage.com and to give us Twitters. Go to our Facebook. Give us tweets. I'm sorry. I have problems with that. Send us tweets at the sports show, because I would like to get more names on the list.
Okay.
So I want to consider 50 names. You said find the best coach. The best coach might be determined by whether Peyton comes or goes. Maybe the best coach, if Brock Osweiler is the next quarterback, is an assistant coach, because you're rebuilding and you're not going to be that good. And I laughed when you said,
aren't you kind of forfeiting the final year, the final 2 years of Peyton Manning?
Well, that's why I said if Peyton's not coming back, you're rebuilding.
All right, so
would you agree with that?
And if Peyton's
if Brock Osweiler,
wait, you just said they're going to hire a head coach before they get Peyton's decision.
That's what that's what people are thinking.
Okay,
John said.
So you have to assume that Peyton's coming back. Because you and I both don't think that Peyton wants to go out this way.
What I'm saying
and you and I both know that John Elway wants Peyton back.
So don't hire a coach until you get an official decision for Peyton, because if he leaves...
That could be 2 months from now. You want to wait that long?
Where are you going?
What if there's a guy...
Where
what if they really like...
Hold on. Where are you going?
What if they really like Dan Quinn, but they know Dan Quinn is a candidate and a hot candidate in a few other places? What if there's a guy out there they really want? You don't think they should jump on him?
Before Peyton Manning makes his decision?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Not at all. I don't care if this drags on for 2 or 3 months.